Hello everyone, this is Cookies, and this turn literally just rolled. So I'm the first person to look at it. Sauromatia is an AI, so do not be confused. Alright. Ooh, we get a lot of action this turn. Looking forward to it. Messengers from Hinnom and Xibalba. Let's fucking go. Oh, he's doing it already. Holy shit. Alright, I'm looking forward to this. And Xibalba, I hope I get the Celestial Soldiers. Just realized they have Spirit Sight and are sacred. Yummy. Yeah. Wait, are you planning to steal them? I don't think he gets them as a summon. Oh my. Okay. Hinnom attacking across the board. Does he attack Xibalba for that throne? I think he'll wait. Man, this is going to be a blitz of Marverni. I don't see any attacks on Xibalba. Okay, so he's going to wait for that part of the throne rush. I think that's wise. Okay. And then we have and Xibalba going on Helheim. A lot harder this turn. TNG trying to break out. Alright, let's see the chaos. Oh, I think I forgot to read some messages, so we'll get back to that. We got these Enkidu hunters. Love to see them. And they're stealthy. And berserkers. Solid Scales troops. Glad to see he's recruiting them. Alright. No, we did read both messages. Yeah. Alright, we're good. Also attacking Runia. What? Is this an accident? Or two nature gems? Is this just like two swarms? Two creeping dooms? Okay. Is this enough to raid? His failed transformation, but man, risking the cornucopia. I would have just given him a couple of nature gems. Oh, what a raid. 2 HP holding 15 gems. I mean, he's stealthy. And mindless. I mean, you take this guy into Cataclysm or something, you're going to be real happy you have him. He can do foraging and stuff. But, I mean, we're not worried about that at this point. Right now, he's a stealthy in 4, with 2 HP, and a cornucopia, which is hilarious. Okay. Xibalba attacking Pergamy. I think these beast bats are on bodyguard. So we're going to do some imp spam with some shade beasts. Looks like just some raids. Okay. No big counterattack from Helheim. Silbermark. Got a Manticore, the Ring of Regen, and a Dragon Helmet. These transformations are hilarious. Alright, Fear 5, Regen 10, 62 hit points, Nature 4. Didn't give him any gems to do anything crazy with. This guy would be an incredible communion slave if you plugged him in with the crystal gear. But right now he is a Flying Fear regenning Manticore. with a Death Poison Stinger. I love these raids. Strength of Gaia, Blessing, Temper Flesh, Luck. Actually, that wasn't this guy's. Strength of Gaia, Temper Flesh, Personal Iron Skin. So he's got 22 protection, 18 attack, 24 damage. Alright. This is so funny. He's actually Nature 5 now because of the Strength of Gaia. These raids are great. So last turn, it didn't look like was ready, but it looks like he's going to lead off with various transformation raiders, which is pretty cool. He didn't give a lot of indication that he was coming in, but he's attacking nevertheless. Alright, we get our first Hinnom attack on Turtle Glades. We've got Call of the Winds. If they land on the commander, they're good. This PD might suck enough that they might generally be okay. We'll see. Big issue is 7 morale. It's real bad. And it was enough to HP route this guy. Okay, so he wins that. In Druidland, another Call of the Winds. This might be a little bit tougher. Oh, he's getting a good surround. There we go. He wins. But you can see how bad these birds are. They routed off of that. Okay, the bird wins the 1v1. Okay. In the Bulwark, we've got 3 Circle Masters. Interesting. So instead of... Oh, and they're all twice warned. Are they going to Soul Vortex each other? Or does he just... No, they had the Death Gem for an invulnerability, and if they die, he'll get White Mages for them. Okay. I mean, that's something I would do. 100%. I don't know if it's good or efficient, but I would absolutely do it. Especially since if one of them dies, you might get the bonus death path. And then you'd have a D3 Blood B2 mage. Which, I think vampires... Aren't they D4 Blood 3? So it might get you set up for that. I'll have to go check. But yeah, very fun raids from so far. From Mekone, we got 2 Crypties with LLPs. All similar kits. One's got slightly better armor. Okay. This should be pretty efficient. Yeah, I like these raids. We're seeing a lot of fun creativity coming out of the players this turn. Really enjoying it. Alright. Where was that? That was down here, Newtonshire. In Gilgad. Okay, we have a real army. Going up against some PD. Okay. And Wold. This should be a real attack too, yeah. A Dust King leaving 5 Rephites, who are unblessed, but should be plenty for PD. Okay. In Assad, we've got some more Call of the Winds. This should fail, I would think. Nope, it works. Alright, these birds are doing better than I thought. Okay, so they clear out the Crystal PD in Sitha. We've got a Melkart Raider with flying shoes. This is a Valor guy. Would be a really good general. +3 for as many troops as you're ever going to have on Hinnom. With Inspirational too. So +5 morale here, and he's using it for raiding. This Melkart would probably be better in the army, and the other Melkart could raid, but it's fine. Maybe he can join up with the army. I don't know. Alright. Clears this. Was this? I forget. Was this Marverni's? That was Sitha. I mean, that was all Fort PD. So that's a fort under siege at least. In Norfangs, we have a Fomorian counterattack. 1 elephant and 2 cavalry. And it works, although the elephant ran. In Florian, we've got Mekone attacking. So we've got a Moonblade Archon and another Cryptes. This one does not have an LLP. They'll have to fight this out. This guy's doing a full buff script. Cryptes is just getting in there, though. This is not enough protection, even with 20 defense, I think. I mean, you would think you would be doing a better job dodging these 8 attack spears, but doesn't seem like it. Well, let's take a quick look. So the militia rolled 230 attacks. Alright, maybe the Cryptes is just really fucking unlucky. Alright, he ends up winning it. Evocations. Interesting. The guy is kind of scripted like a thug, but he didn't act like it. Alright, so that was Florian. In Jahira, we've got another Mekone raid. I think very similar. This guy's got much heavier armor, though. A lot less defense as a result. This is a Shock Trident thug. Okay. Let's see. That was here. Alright. Xibalba attacking Griffin Rock. So we've had some really fun uses of Cryptes from Mekone. Now we have a more general Imp raid. Along with the Shade Beast. A very good combo that he's been using to pretty good effect. Okay. Then in Ripe Woods, we have another Hinnom attack. More Call of the Winds. I'm not going to doubt it now. Although, if there was ever one where it would fail, it'd be this, because they have too much protection. And they didn't land on the commander. Alright, in Giant's Rest, we've got Xibalba. Alright, here we go. So these are mercs, the hoplite mercs. Here's the commander, named after the famous empire that formed after Alexander the Great died. And we've got a little bit of a mage core here. Probably a Sabbath to do Divine Blessing, maybe. We got some Ocelotls. A lot of mage support mixed into this. Going up against what looks like Fort PD. Alright. So as a reminder, the Bless, very scary. Stormflight, Larger, Righteous Wrath, Blood Vengeance, Enchanted Blood, and Undying. Alright. Really like that Bless. Where was that? Was that here? Giant's Rest. So a 300 stack with 8 mages, a few commanders. Part of this is mercs. But yeah, pretty scary. Spring Spires. Doesn't even have a ton of the really big scorpions, and it's still pretty scary. I think this one could succeed again. We've already seen something very similar. In Ard, we've got another Hinnom attack. Ooh, these guys have gems. We're going to have some fire elementals, some rough fights, some point buffing. Or, oh, maybe it didn't trigger gem usage. Okay. Say this was here. It loses 5 of the Magics. Probably from, no. Does maybe not friendly fire. Scorpion Cracks, we've got Xibalba. A Batab pinging away, seeing what's home. Apparently a scout. In Toledo, another budget Mekone raid. Yep, some Draconians. Alright. Then in Troll Canyons, we've got Xibalba out attacking with some Jaguars. A couple of guys to bless them. Are they undisciplined? They are. So you're not going to get great bless coverage, but with the imps and other stuff, it's still a pretty formidable little party. And the ones that did get blessed are going to be really annoying to deal with, like this one. But yeah, some of them didn't. It's fine though. They still have larger. You just want to have the Blood Vengeance. So it loses 1 to PD. In Range of Light, we've got a Hinnom attack. Another milk cart. This one is a Tough Skin one, so bonus protection, up at 23 prot. Is already blessed and has winged shoes. So fire shield and jump in pretty quick. Alright. Next up we've got Tianqi trying to free their capital. But there's just a ghoul left. Alright. In Sleepy Mountains, we've got Xibalba attacking. And this is the main stack, I think. So we still have the Great Mage support. We've got magic weapons from the Sun Guides. We've got Aussies. We've got some Serpent Fiends. Pretty good early patrol strength. So it can be a good use of some early Blood Slaves. They've got Death Poison, so they can make some nasty bodyguards too. Then we've got all the Sacred Scorpions. We've got the Jaguars. Yep, Divine Blessing. Everything's blessed. This army is going to be very difficult to deal with. Alright. That was here. Loses one Sun Guide. In Pania, we've got Hinnom attacking. I think he loses this one. Alright. I mean, it's worked better than I thought it would, to be honest. Considering Marverni's put a fair amount of PD in a lot of spots. In Whalewind Waters, we've got attacking. Four water 2 mages just rolling in underground. Doing some water elemental spam. It is Amber Clan, so the number of water elementals in many ways is justified. He would love to fort that, I think. Amber Clan not only give him the ability to get the fire or water crosspath for Rune Smashers, if he rolls enough of them, but it also allows him to get his National Mage. We'll see if he ends up forting that. Lots of good forting opportunities for In Pranda, we've got Xibalba attacking some independents. I mean, this is just a lot of shit going after Trogs. Alright, so the important part of this is this commander. Zots, as I learned from Demosthenes, are actually pretty good at dealing with Trogs because they do a big attack rear and they get the commander. This is not enough bats on the attack rear, though. He's going to have to fight through all these Trogs. But these Scorpions are great for that. Alright. So Xibalba takes some attrition there. I think more than what he's taken in any of his actual attacks. That was here. So loses 58 Long Dead, 6 Shade Beast, and 5 Xibalban Guards. Xibalban Guards aren't a problem, though. Alright. And in Silver Fangs, I think we saw that. That was a Batab pinging. Attacks Vongar. We've got 2 scouts with LLPs, so he has been blood hunting. Yes! Yes! Do it, Distant Horizon. Make a blood power. Okay, this is... Alright, I'm excited. I don't know if the game will end from Stonetroll's Throne Rush, but I'm very much looking forward to this. Let me close Discord really quick. Alright. This is so good. Alright. Distant Horizon just made me very happy. Alright. I think that was here. Okay. And you put them on scouts too, so they're stealthy, annoying, kind of like elf-like. Alright. Tianchi trying to free his other fort, I believe. Or raiding out with the cat. Let's see what's on the cat. It is stealthy. Okay, so I can just raid out. So he's noticed the weakness, and he's rolling it to retake some land. iFlyte always... iFlyte, I love iFlyte because he does fight to the end. It is fun that way. Let's see. Temper Flesh, Personal Regen, Iron Skin, Body Ethereal, Astral Shield, Soldiers of Steel, Strength of Gaia. He got some of these off script. What a set of buffs. This cat is not going to give a fuck. Alright. So the cat takes some land. The adept flees. Oh, that might have been that adept province. And that might have been Helheim's first adept that he pulled. Did it die? Okay, it might have retreated. In Vath, we've got Mekone. We've got another LLP Cryptes. I'm impressed at the amount of blood slaves that Mekone has managed to pick up so far. So just doing some old-fashioned blood hunting. Maybe he's been trading for them? I don't know. I think he's been doing his own blood hunting. Alright. See, that was here. And then we've got 3 indie attacks. So we've got Troll Canyons. A big air elemental. Size 9. Oh, this mage is fucked. There's nothing you can do, buddy. Yeah, just go die in peace. Alright, in Xibalba, we have a caveman attack on his capital. Oh no. I mean, it's a lot of Zots. They might get the leadership. Yeah, so they actually hold. He's got cave kobolds here, which is pretty fun. So these guys give a mining resource bonus. As long as it has a mine, or if it is a cave province. So, pretty cool. So he's getting a resource bonus in his cap. I'm not sure that I'd patrol with them, but they do have a magic attack, which is nice. And True Sight, and Dark Vision. So, maybe patrolling a bit with them to catch spies and whatnot, and scouts on his capital. Then in Dark Woods. Yeah, this Sapmind Darkvine. Oh, it's an adventurer event. Okay. How many? Okay, so we got an assassin. We've got 2 of these commanders. These are stealthy raid leaders, so they're useful commanders. Unless you have native recruit ones, which Xibalba does. But maybe you can give them something to do. But it does pick up 2 healers, and they're also in 2 mages. Now, if I remember right, Xibalba does have nature access, especially on the Oniki. But healers are nice. I think healers are always nice. And he should be able to defend this, I think. As long as they can kill the last 23 HP of this thing. There we go. Alright. So, saves all 5 adventurers. Very good. That'll be a nice haul for Xibalba. Alright, so let's take a look at the map. I don't think there's been any fighting below ground. We saw the Trog attack here. Oh, he's got griffins down here. Nice. And more Aussies. The zoo, forever creating new stuff. He's blood hunting like crazy. Going well below the optimal. Because the optimal, you start... Because the second check, I think, is based on population. And it's as long as you have... It's 100% as long as you have over 7,500 pop. But it looks like he's hunting... I think he's about to hunt this, but he's definitely hunting these other ones well below 7k. So churning for blood slaves. Unfortunately for him, that means this throne, which is not being forted, is very exposed as everything flows into Helheim, really setting up this Hinnom throne rush. We'll see if anything diverts, if the lobby puts it together. Both of these forts are cracked. Oh, they were mercs, so he's not trying to steal them, he's hiring mercs. Okay. And he got them too, 15 celestial soldiers. That'll be nice, if they can ever catch up to the front line. Oh, I'm really gathering up in 2 of these forts. I think maybe he's planning to respond now. We see 170 from TNG. And TNG suddenly has a lot of income and is a player again. Just gotta be annoying for Mekone too. Because Mekone just did all this raiding into Fomoria. They're not really in position to do anything about this either. We see large Berytos armies down here. Importantly, he's got this throne under siege. This fort is not cracked. The Dustwalkers did not move out this turn. But they did patrol out scouts. Maybe they're a defensive group? I think the game might come down to Berytos, or the lobby realizing what's going on, and Berytos pivoting, and Xibalba shoring up his throne. We will have to see. I mean, this throne rush might just work. This is very exciting. Stellar focus is up here. This throne is very empty. Not a lot going on in there. He did trap the army in Ard. I wonder if this was a nap break as well. We'll have to hear from the players if the player complains. I would think if you're gonna risk it, I think this force has to move on to Gilgad, and the Gilgad army has to move on to Sitha. So you can crack this as quickly as possible and storm it. And then this group can come up and defend this throne. This is not going to standard siege for too long. Unless he comes out with quite the play to kill. I think Marverni's army can trash this Hinnom stack. It'll depend on Marverni's scripting. But, I mean, even the Trinity is going to be hard for Hinnom to deal with. He does have a lot of stuff in his cap that needs to move out. That might be the stuff that's meant for taking the Xibalba throne, depending on how things go with Marverni. He's got an increasing garrison in Ilmeria, and that's being upgraded. Yeah, if Berytos puts it together, Berytos can probably take multiple thrones off of Hinnom. We'll have to see, though. I'm very curious to see if the lobby puts it together from this Marverni invasion. I think it helps that there's Call of the Winds here as well, because it looks more like a general invasion rather than just a bunch of stuff on Sitha, which would look like a throne rush. But the best of Berytos is way down here in Hyperbochi. Although there's some stuff near here and a Melkart. There's an army here. A bunch of Draconians can fly up here. There's a little bit of an army here. We'll see. And then we've got Helheim just getting absolutely invaded. I mean, just a wall of attacks. Berytos not attacking this turn. Still has to move down and around. You're gonna get last spoils if you don't attack at some point. You gotta leave your forts. Alright, but maybe he's hoping that more of the elves will fight this stuff, and then maybe he can clean up after. But I think it's going to be very difficult for Helheim to do anything about Xibalba in particular. And then we've got the big Enkidu armies about to roll in. Right, but he still has big armies at home, too. Still no lab on this wasteland, which does hurt me a bit. For the garnets. Finds an Academy of Magic. How many unique mages are you gonna find? Has the Magus and High Magus here. I mean, this is a phenomenal mage. Even the regular Magus is a great mage. Has the Circle Masters. Has Garnets recruitable here, but hasn't labbed it yet. I mean, this game has to be so much fun right now. He's got some Meteorite card, presumably from an event. Not an event I ever get. I never get free Meteorite card, but other people do. He just got a shit ton of gem income. I think he'll definitely pull away on gem income this turn. Alright, I mean, I think right now, all these players might be thinking all eyes on the Helheim, Mekone, Fomoria stuff. But really, it's all about this Marverni conflict, and we'll have to see if the lobby puts it together. If they figure it out, they can stop it. I know they can. But we'll see if they figure it out. So, I am rooting for Stonetroll a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. And let's go ahead and take a look at crafts. Alright, so for provinces, Hinnom up a lot, Xibalba up a lot, up a lot, Mekone up a lot. From rating, losers this turn, we've got Helheim down a lot, Marverni down a lot, and Fomoria down a lot. So didn't see a lot of counter rating or traps set out for anything really. Berytos still the flat line for showing who's been expanding since expansion and who's down since expansion. So still the barometer in Berytos. I think Hinnom's about twice as big as Berytos now, but definitely not bigger on income. For forts, we've got Hinnom out in first, Berytos in second. For income, holy moly, especially with riches from beneath. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Has more than twice the income of Hinnom and Berytos. And Hinnom's got the most provinces, and Berytos also has phenomenal scales. Just making everyone else look small on the income graph. Gem income, we've got way out in front. I mean, not as way out in front as income, but still way out in front. Followed by Xibalba with all their recent gains. And then Hinnom and Berytos. For blood income, we've got Berytos, followed by Xibalba and This downtick is probably due to unrest, potentially, and hunting below 7,500 pop. I think some of that stuff has to migrate. For research, we've got Berytos out in front by a lot. And then we've got Marverni. And so Marverni's been caught out of position, but the Marverni main army, I think, can deal with anything Hinnom has, assuming it's reasonably well scripted. So we'll have to see what it rolls out showing, I guess, because it does have a lot more research than Hinnom. Berytos has more research than anyone by a mile. Well, we're still waiting to see him use it, but he's got tons and tons of research. On Dominion, we've got way out in front, followed by Hinnom, Xibalba, Helheim, and Berytos. For army size, we've got way out in front. And this represents really pushing his scales, which is also pushing his income quite a bit. And it also scales with riches. And then for army size, we've got way out in front. We've got Berytos and Xibalba. So these are our big three. They're and Xibalba are doing a lot of expanding right now. Hinnom is down slightly this turn. But we'll see if Hinnom has enough in the tank to execute this throne rush. Otherwise, I think it's... If the lobby figures it out, I think Hinnom's crushed. I don't think Hinnom's going to be able to do a whole lot against Berytos and Not, I don't even think he has a border with but Berytos, I think, would really wreck Hinnom, at least in the current state of both nations. And then we've got... way down here, we've got Mekone, Marverni, Helheim, and Fomoria. Just not enough troops to really deal with all the stuff coming with Adam, I think. Although Helheim has a lot of quality. So if they throw around maybe medium commitment stacks, they're going to start losing on the income game, but they might cause a lot of attrition. But if anyone could take a lot of attrition, it's Xibalba and So that might be a losing strat. And then Ascension points, all eyes on Hinnom. So, yeah, this is super exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing the shuffle. So this to here, this to here, this to here. Trying to, maybe a lot of the birds flying here to try and help crack this. And then storming it. If this is cracked next turn, maybe this gets claimed over this end turn, and then this will be cracked, and then she'll fly over while this group is storming, and maybe this group will roll out and show up in like Halpathria or something, maybe just enough to take this, and then we'll see and then the rest of it will follow in right after, and we'll see him attempt to claim. But we'll just have to see. I think next turn, they might not figure out this turn, but I think next turn the lobby should definitely figure it out. We'll have to see. Because this Iron Throne is unclaimed. Alright. So, very exciting. Not too bad of a lull in action. TNG still out and fighting. Berytos is going to have to fight both these armies potentially, but he has to leave his fort to do so. And then it's Xibalba and picking up a lot of territory. Maybe based on the split, is planning to take Helheim. But this army's really got to get moving. Because these forts are both cracked, so they're probably both going to be taken next turn. And then this army's just going to be here, and then it's going to move here the turn after. And both of these armies can move out. They might be able to move 2 over here, meet up in Silverfangs. But I think will probably go for Helheim. We'll see how far Xibalba tries to push it. I think Xibalba will go like this. So take Farseer, Scorpion Cracks, Boguloth, probably all this. And then maybe this little corridor will go to And maybe the rest of this is meant for Berytos, but in some ways you have to go and claim it reasonably quickly for people to acknowledge it. So we'll see how that goes as well. We got 500 troops, mostly Blackhawks and Draconians. So much stuff. All right. So yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. Mekone's expanding in great fashion right now, but he might have to worry about TNG as well. So that could slow him a bit down over here. We'll see if also attacks Mekone. Could also be up for potential expansion. But yeah, really interesting. Like, a lot of the raids were really cool this turn as well. Really liked seeing the variety from and Mekone especially. And so, yeah, we'll see it next time. I think next turn should be really telling. We'll have to see how the lobby reacts. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.